How's it going, everyone? This is Prashan here, and I have another friend from BrookLAN here. I have Timmy Trogdor here. How's it going?
Doing great. Brooklyn in the house.
Yes,
How are
yes.
you doing today, for Sean?
Good, good. Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and then your experience at BrookLAN?
All right, so I am Timmy Trogdor. I'm actually Brooklyn born and raised. Been here. I mean, I've left a number of times. I went to Massachusetts, North Carolina, DC, but I keep coming back here because New Yorker through and through. Can take the boy out of Brooklyn, can't take the Brooklyn out of the boy.
Gotcha.
I love playing games ever since I was a kid. I will play just about any type of game except trivia, mainly because that's knowledge, not
Skill.
strategy.
Yeah, skill and strategy.
I'm very big on strategy. And so when Marvel Snap came along, I was like, okay, cool. This is this great chance to really play out a collectible card game that didn't involve buying a lot of cards. I grew up playing Magic. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! I even bounced back into Magic after a time. I've been eyeing Lorcana a bit. There's so many different games out there. And on top of that, I just play, like, I have over 300 tabletop board games and card games in my personal
Oh
collection
wow.
of all sorts of different styles and types. So if there's a game, there's a good chance I've heard of it, and even more, and even a little less of a chance, but still a good chance that I've played it or seen it in action.
And then Tim.
Because I just take an interest in that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. And then Timmy, this is the deck that you played all the way to the finals, correct?
Yes, that deck is the deck I played all the way through the finals. I think I made one change for the finals proper, which was just because I knew he was playing a lot of like Living Tribunal. I was like, all right, I have to dump out the Spider-Man and switch in an Enchantress just in case. But
Gotcha.
other than that, that is the deck through and through that I ran. I love Move as a archetype. It's big brain thinking. It's very strategic. It's very thoughtful. It's not like discard or destroy, where there is thought behind the placement, and there's luck about where things land. With movement, you are strategizing where your cards are going, how your cards are going to move, when you should or should not move, what the best play for you on a given turn is compared with, oh, look, I can destroy something. Let's make my Deadpool bigger.
Mm,
And I love Destroy Deck as a concept, but it doesn't work as well for me. And
right. Like
so you have so much control over move. It is akin to a control deck. The difference being you're controlling where things are going versus where things can go.
true. Totally makes sense. I have a tough time playing Move, so I'm glad I have you on, the perfect person that enjoys Move.
Sino did tell me that I'm probably one of the best move players he knows of.
Oh, that's awesome.
He has granted me that level of acknowledgement, which is huge. I greatly appreciate it because I know the deck, but I know there are other people who play it and probably even better than I do. But at the same time, he's seen people and he saw me playing and he's like, "Nah, this is you."
Gotcha.
And
So
so knowing that I can play on that level is a huge for my own. What's the word I'm looking for? Huge for me, just huge for my confidence.
gotcha. Yeah, boost the ego quite a bit.
Oh,
Not the location,
exactly.
but Timmy's
E-
ego.
Exactly.
So we'll go
Ego,
over.
ego does not know how to play this deck better than me. Let's phrase it that
Oh
way.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Any deck for that. So we'll go card by card. I'll have you explain it to the people, and then we'll play some games, and then you'll guide me through it, and hopefully we can get some dubs. So we'll go over the first card here, and we have Ghost Spider.
Right. So before we go through the individual cards, I do want to say this. There are basically three types of cards you see in a movement deck such as this. And as long as you have two of them, you're fine. One is the card to move things around, such as Ghost Spider, Iron Fist, and Cloak. The other is the cards you are moving to gain power, your Human Torch, your Vulture, your Dagger. And then your defensive cards is the third type, which is where the Negasonic and Spider-Man 2099 come in, because you need something defensive. I would often run Shang-Chi for a long time. When I saw this specific deck out there and really looked into it on a better detail, I was like, 2099 for this deck makes more sense than a Shang-Chi, and I've seen better results with the 2099 over the Shang-Chi.
Oh,
Having
nice.
run Shang-Chi for a very long time, I have numerous move decks in my personal collection. So I've been like, I tried this, I tried this, I tried that. At 2099, I was having a hard time fitting in. But once I found the place with it with Negasonic Teenage Warhead as a secondary protection card, it paired up much better than what I was running before. So
Nice.
I'm happy to go through this card by card, of course. The
All
first one we're
right.
going through
Well,
was
yeah.
Ghost
Thank you for the
Spider.
explanation. That's an awesome explanation.
It
What?
helps you figure out when you know how to snap, which is the other big part of it. So as we'll discuss the cards, I'll show you my combinations that I really like to use because I don't think in terms of one card. I'm very much a combination card player. So, for example, four of the cards on the top line are a key combination for this deck to work amazingly. You have Ghost Spider. It will pull the last card played to that location. You have Human Torch, which obviously is one of the key cards for move decks. For a long time, I wasn't for it because Killmonger was so rampant.
Mhm.
Killmonger is a lot less in the meta these days, and so I see him a lot less. And I will actually usually time it right to pull him back with the Beast, so he doesn't get destroyed by the Killmonger in process. But one of the key combos you'll find with this deck is if you have the chance, Iron Fist, Human Torch, pull Human Torch back to the Iron Fist location with Ghost Spider, and then beast all three back to your hand and run it again the following turn because they all cost zero at that point.
Right. Yeah.
It also gives you the ability to say, "Oh look, I also have Vulture. I want to try to increase the power of. Let me Iron Fist the the Vulture, get that to a 3/9, and go from there." Beast is also a secondary defense that most people don't think of early on, and I do love Beast for this play because you have a lot of people who like to throw negative cards at you, like a Nihilist throwing your Sentry Demon, your Sentry thing, or Hobgoblin and Green Goblin. Well, Beast will just pick it right up and let you throw it back at him.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then I think even with like the nerf to Beast, it still works in this deck
Oh yeah.
because they're zero cost and you can just do that combo all over again.
Well, exactly. I don't think it needs to be a permanent cost reduction. I think that was actually a fair way to play it. And that the fact that he's back to a 2/2 really shows that because when it was a 3/4, it was like, okay, no, it made sense to make it a little more permanent because you couldn't play it till turn 3 or 4 anyway. The fact that I
Right.
could play this on turn 2 or combine it into a movement, like I've played Iron Fist and then on turn 2 and Human Torch and Beast on turn 3 and still sucked all three back into the hand.
Yeah, it still works. And then next,
Dagger,
oh
I
yeah,
was going to
Dagger.
address Dagger because we were bouncing around a little bit.
Yeah, we were.
Dagger is, in my opinion, the best card in move at this point.
Ooh.
Her buff of getting the +3 power per enemy card on location makes her after with the way this deck plays after two movements you are rarely under 12 power. It's possible, but if within two movements you're already at a 212.
Yeah.
Like that alone just screams power to bring this further. Craven, in my opinion, is a key card for movement archetype, but he's about to go away from that list. And I'll address that after we discuss this deck a bit more in detail. Because Craven gains a lot of power. He's huge with the cloak combination because your opponent's cards will also bump up the Craven power. And you're going to want to play around with him a lot as the deck grows on you. You're like, okay, how can we make Craven bigger? And then pull the cards right back. My favorite
Mhm.
combination with Craven is actually Hercules.
Oh, nice.
Uh, because if you can get when you get Craven and Hercules on the same location, you throw a card over there. Let's say your Human Torch or your Vulture, you bounce it on there with an Iron Fist, it bounces back out. You're getting double move power right there. You're still bumping up the Craven, and you're not even clogging the lane as much. That is actually one of the two big ways to stop a move deck is lane clog. I find that to be the biggest thing. Central Park throwing squirrels on the board throws off my ability to play things the way I like.
Yeah.
Whereas I
Central
can
Park,
work
Savage Land.
exactly. Whereas I can work around a control deck where it's like, okay, you locked off mid with Professor X, fine. I can use Ghost Spider to my benefit. I can use Hercules to my benefit. I can use Cloak to my benefit. Iron Fist obviously a little weaker, but you're not stuck in the same way.
Right.
Um, Cloak, in my opinion, is also the other important card in any move deck. His home is in move. You can get rid of Doctor Strange or even Ghost Spider faster than you can get rid of Cloak. Uh, the fact that I can then move anything to where I need it, and I can move multiple cards there is huge.
Nice.
particularly if I don't have Prio. I could throw Hercules over, and it'll just throw out the person's card that just moved over there.
Oh yeah, it does. I forget. I forget these move combos because I don't even play.
Exactly.
I don't play move that often.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead was not a card I really thought of putting in the deck until I saw the decks that were doing it, and I was like, that really makes a lot of sense because for a turn 5 move, you can basically protect a location that you need. Or if you know where someone's about to play, say, Wong on turn 4, or you have Prio and it's a Wong situation on turn 3, you could be like, no, I'm just going to go protect that location from it.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that run away when you catch them with an unexpected Negasonic just goes wild.
Right. This is a card. I would say like a wild card or a surprise card in this deck. You wouldn't expect this card in here at all,
Exactly.
and it works.
For a long time, my surprise card in that deck was Hobgoblin. Getting the negate power that no one's going to expect goes bonkers on them, particularly because the other half of that combo that most people don't realize is you can then Ghost Spider it wherever you want to,
Oh yeah, you
as long
can.
as they have room, because it's the card you played. It didn't say cards on your side.
Right.
So I play it, and they're like, okay, cool. I don't need to care about it there. I'll clog their location and be like, oh, look, no, 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 you don't have that location anymore. That stops Ghost Rider dead
Jeez,
in its tracks.
that is filthy.
Hercules can also do fun stuff like that in the same way.
Right.
If they move stuff over, expecting it to go one way, but oh, look, no, didn't work out the way they thought it would.
And then next we
Um,
have Vulture.
Vulture's buff, where he's now +6 power per move versus +5. One move, he's a 3/9. He's already extremely powerful. You get 2 or 3 moves on him, he's competing with any 6 cost card on power.
You know what's
Um,
crazy too is like now that we're talking about all these cards, they're pretty powerful just off of just one or two moves. They're
well,
up there.
but you have to be able to move them, and you have to be able to, because that assumes you get the cards in order to get the movement going, and then it's not countered. So the catch is one control lock or one pair of very bad draws, and you're like, well, that's not as good. Because if I just throw Vulture down, hoping I'm going to draw the Heimdall or hoping I'm going to draw the Ghost Spider, there's no guarantee of it.
Right. So
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
so like your main goal is to make sure you have the cause and the effect.
Exactly. If you only have one but not the other, you're not getting the spark you need to set off. Because if you so the my favorite turn 4 turn 5 combo, and it is a 2 turn combo that works best, but the turn 5 can stand alone. Whereas I was talking about Ghost Spider, Human Torch, Iron Fist, Beast as one combo for that.
Mm-hmm.
The best solo turn 5 combo is Iron Fist, Vulture, Ghost Spider.
Nice.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter where they all end up, but as long as they end up together, as long as they're all played in concert correctly, then you are getting what does the number work out to? 15 power Vulture by the end of that turn.
Yeah.
If you can get Hercules down on turn 4 on top of that,
Yeah. That's insane.
and, and luck bounces in your favor, you're looking at 20 to 30 power Vultures by the end of the game.
Yeah.
People don't expect that.
No. No.
Uh, Spider-Man 2099 is a planning card. You typically want to either be beasting turn 4 so you can Spider-Man 2099 either Ghost Spider or Iron Fist the same turn. That's ideals. Or you're playing it down knowing you're about to Heimdall to a location.
Okay.
But I have spent plenty of a turn playing Spider-Man 2099 to just Ghost Spider at the next turn, and then just do some other bump up with like Iron Fist and Dagger or Craven Iron Fist Dagger. Like your combinations are very open ended with this. And finally, Heimdall, which I don't play as much as most people do in playing Move, believe it or not. Most people expect a Heimdall, they expect it on right. They expect it to be, or on left as just oh, look, I'm just shifting everything over. I'm planning to take the left 2 lanes. Right becomes a sacrifice lane.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to be like, okay, Heimdall will be right. Cool. I don't play Heimdall half the time. It's not worth it because that's leaving mid as a thing they could easily get when I already have so much power on mid from bouncing cards around.
Right.
So
It's
if you
just like a fear, or it probably makes the opponent overthink.
no, because they're like, okay, no, this should be easy. This is going to be where he's going to play it, and this is where things are going to move. And then to not play it, to be like, no, I'm just going to play Vulture and what's her name? Negasonic Teenage Warhead instead
And
cover
boom.
so much more ground. They're like, oh shit, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Excuse my
That's.
language. If,
Oh, you're good. You're good. I think we're deep in the video where you could let it slip. We're
Excellent.
good.
And so it's so I don't like discard because it always pulls Hella or Ghost Rider out of my hand, and I have no way to pull cards back. I've played plenty of discard. I've played plenty of destroy. Things don't seem to bounce for me the way it does for other people, and hey, they're valid archetypes. Um, Big card discard is one of the few enemies of this deck because you have to be able to build up your power enough. And if you
Right.
don't build up the power enough, you aren't able to counter it.
Right.
That is actually how Falcon beat me in the finals. Was specifically he was playing Hella discard. And I was like, cool, and it was big card discard instead of the tribunal discussion, which fine. And so I didn't have the 2099 to help out a bit. I was like, okay, but I had just in case, I had the Enchantress for like the Ronin and a few other cards he had, and it came down to he Hella'd, and if Red Hulk had gone mid, I would have won.
Right.
Red
It's like
Hulk
where
went
the cards
left.
fall.
It's so random where the cards fall. The only randomness in this deck is where Hercules launches a card, which doesn't tend to impact you if you play Hercules on left, and what card 2099 destroys, which if you can aim a location that has one or two cards, it just plays the odds better to you.
Right. Yeah. So.
But that Red Hulk going where it landed, listen, he played an amazing game. You had people like Flash also playing discard very well. I respect it as a style. But since it's so random and I want to control where my cards are going, this deck is so big brain. You need to know how the numbers are going to come out. You need to predict what not only where your cards are going with things like the Hercules and how your cards are going to bounce, but then where you think your opponent's going to play because you're not depending solely on, well, I'm going to expect my big cards to come down here and that'll be the end of it.
Right.
I
Yeah.
look I look I look at it as what is going to be the best way to make this deck fly on a turn. That's why I have those combinations. That's why people in the tournament I played against, I think it was against Flash and Cat, where they were expecting me to Heimdall location. I was like, no, there's no need for it. I already have these two locations under lock and key. I don't need to accidentally give you a location for free and mess myself up mid.
Yeah.
Because
For
then if
sure.
because then if they're because then if they're going to Shang-Chi, they're Shang-Chiing under the presumption
That
of
they're
the
gonna
Vulture
win the
getting
other
big
lane.
enough.
Yeah. That
And
is
and
crazy.
so it works out very well.
Yeah. And then you
Well,
gave a freaking awesome explanation of this deck. And
thank
hopefully
you.
your big brain can help us get a
I
few wins here.
I would I'm happy to impart this information on you and what works best so you could see how a move is far more viable, but it takes a different concentration. It's not like, okay, I know I have this card in my hand, I'm fine.
Right. It's not autopilot snap where you just played this on turn one, this turn two, this turn three, and then
Exactly.
hoping that you win. So we'll.
And yeah, let's go and we'll discuss strategies as we go along in these matches because there are decisions I make that a lot of people don't think make sense, but in my eyes they do. And I already hit infinite for the season using just the move deck.
Oh,
I
nice.
I,
Yeah.
I explicitly didn't play any other decks this season. I was like, let me see how good I can do. Uh, and I will deal with the weekly missions of like play on reveal cards, play ongoing cards, destroy cards. Like that I could deal with later. For now, this is just how I made sure to get to infinite.
Let's go. All right. Sounds good. Sounds like you know your stuff, obviously. Hopefully you could pass off some of that knowledge. So let's
I've played
go
this a lot. I hope I know at least a little bit.
let's play some games. Here we have Hercules, Negasonic, Cloak, Vulture, and we have Great Web, which should be
Yes,
an awesome location for us.
it will be an awesome location for you depending on what they're playing.
Right.
And that's why I say we don't snap. Why snap on turn one knowing we have Great Web? You don't need to play anything right now. If you were really wanting to, you could risk the cloak going into Quantum Tunnel just to see if you could draw out a different card, but it's not really worth it. This is the
Those are the
turn.
squirrels.
Yes, these are the squirrels. This turn, you honestly just want to play Vulture on the right. There's no need to play it anywhere else at the moment. It's just to increase the chances of something good drawing out.
Wind,
Okay,
aid
that actually
my
works out to our favor,
hand.
believe it or not. And there you go. So they played Storm, and one of my favorite counters to Storm, because we have Prio, so they can't do anything about this, is right now you play Cloak on mid and you play Iron Fist on right. Specifically on right, yeah. You don't want to. You basically want to hope that one of their cards moves, ideally. See, and now he played the Cosmos, so that worked out even more in his favor.
Oh wow.
His left is mostly locked. This is turn 5. There's no question that you move the Vulture to mid. No question. You do not move anything else at this time. There's a toss-up about how you could play this. I'm going to make a specific choice that I wouldn't normally make. You are going to play Human Torch right, and you're going to play Hercules on left.
All
You have the
right.
Prio, so you could try for the Negasonic on right and just take advantage of that, but then he'll just move Nightcrawler and play it left, and it's worthless at that point.
Gotcha.
But at this point, you're moving another card to the right, and whatever gets drawn over to Great Web of yours just gets bounced back out anyway.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter which card it is at that point, because your mid is so locked down that you're fine, and he could still win left by moving the Nightcrawler out, but he might wait a turn to do that.
And we also have the Negasonic too to possibly
Exactly.
snipe.
If we have Prio on the final turn and mid is already locked down, then we really don't have to care. In fact, I'm expecting that to be Professor X almost based on the deck he's running.
Yes.
There we go. That actually works better than you realize, because that happened.
And
Now,
then we
he has one turn. Yeah, you could snap now. You could have snapped last turn, but honestly, I'm comfortable with this. Now you just play Negasonic on left, and you don't have to give a shit because everything's getting destroyed. You don't even have to throw in the dagger because it's pointless. So yeah, that you win that game by default. You could have snapped turn 5 if you'd realized the Professor X was coming down, but I really was thinking about it for a minute. I was like, all right, he's playing Daredevil. It's such a common combination. He knows my stuff is moving, so he could safely play on right, knowing Human Torch is leaving.
right.
I had Prio, so it meant nothing to him to be like, okay, cool, that's locked down. Now
You
he has
might
to
have
see, can
unlocked
he?
move for me.
Ex- but it's so thinky. It's so you have to think it through so well that you can't be like, okay, I'm gonna hope that he plays this here. You're like, no, I know he's gonna play this here. I know what to expect from this person. The Daredevil combination, it could have been a Killmonger, honestly, knowing the Human Torch was coming down, just to snap that out early.
Right.
I've countered with that before, just because like, no, I know what he's doing. Let me make it where it's worthless for him.
And then plus he had the Nightcrawler too, so I wasn't too afraid
Exactly.
of the Killmonger, but I think he's done. Yep. He retreats.
He had to retreat. He needed a really big card to pull this off. This is where Negasonic is going to fly the most. You don't need to play Human Torch yet.
Okay. So we just skip this turn?
There's no reason to rush into the turn. All right, we see Korg. We should assume a Darkhawk deck.
So Onslaught Citadel might be key for them.
You want to play Craven onto the Cloning Vats. Having 2 Cravens in this game is actually going to be great for you. There's Jeff, always a great card. And you may be wondering why I didn't put Jeff in this move deck. It doesn't play the way I wanted to. All right, you have some choices here. And it is questionable which is the best play. For me, for the way I would want to see this, I personally would run Iron Fist on mid and Human Torch on right. I feel for me that plays a bit stronger, because if necessary, I could Beast next turn. I still have another Iron Fist coming down. But there's a few ways this will play. So that is how I would play this, is to Iron Fist, Human Torch into Craven.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. He's playing a little Destroy stuff in there. Which means
Interesting.
he will have either a Venom, a Carnage, or a Killmonger. It's hard to say which at the moment. All right. So, a couple of options. This is turn 4. I want to hold off till next turn for playing Negasonic. So what I think you should do in this situation would be to beast out the mid to pull all that back, and you need to drop the Craven down on left. You need to basically be able to draw all those cards back to... Actually, wait, hold on. I want to math real sec. Sorry, 1 second. You know, this is crazy. No, don't play that. I need to... I'm trying to think out the math of this one really quickly. All right, so No, actually, it's safe to play it this way. It is. Sorry, my mistake. It is safe to play this way. Beast that out, and play Craven on left. Your hand is going to be full of everything but including the Human Torch, which is fine because now you have a lot more bouncy stuff.
Ooh, another deck.
It's fine. Obviously, you can't do much, but this turn, you are going to play Negasonic on left. No question. You are going to play Human Torch. Hold on. You're going to play. Make sure the math is right on this. You are going to play Craven mid. You are playing Iron Fist on right. You are playing Human Torch on mid. Did he snap or was that you?
He snapped.
Perfect. You play that, and then you play Iron Fist on right. It becomes very sum zero for you, but if we draw what we want, we're actually in a better position. What do we discard? We don't care.
Okay, that's fine.
It would have been nice. It would have been nice to have that, but left is now lost to him. He's about to realize that unless he plays 2 cards, which makes him play the other sword. But it takes up an energy, so he may still end up playing a few certain cards. All right. We did not want. We specifically did not want Prior for this. That was very much on purpose.
Okay.
Yes. Believe it or not, that was very much on purpose. So, in order to win this, we need, and we may not win this one honestly. We want to be playing Human Torch on right. We need to beef up mid a bit. We want to be playing Cloak on left, and we want to be playing Craven on mid. Right becomes a sacrifice lane for us. He has a Dakin there. It's about to double again. We don't. There's no point in running that risk.
And
this one might not be a win, honestly. This might have been fair to. Yep. All right. He played that. That's fine. I think the math may not work in our favor, but he did play the right lane as a sack. The right lane sack was correct. I think we're just shy, or did we just pass it?
yeah, I think it's.
Wait, hold on.
We got it.
I think.
We
right, we
no
lost
by
one.
one.
We
Oh
lost
my
by
goodness.
1. That's how close that movement math made that.
That was crazy.
Knowing when to sacrifice a lane like that, I was like, no, right has to become a sacrifice lane. He already has a Dakin that's going to be super powered anyway. All right, what do we get from them?
Black Panther.
Which screams Zola.
Yeah.
We have nothing we can play right now, so there's no point in trying to play anything. It's just play it out. That last one was so well played. The guy did great. That math was so close.
Yeah, it was.
They gave us a Vulture. Craven down now.
All right.
No question, Craven.
Where?
It doesn't matter
Mid?
where. I like it mid, just because it's easier to bounce between a few things. Next location will determine if we could justifiably snap or not.
Their hand is full.
They got our Heimdall from. Oh my god, they got Heimdall from Bugle.
Bugle, and then we ended up getting their Heimdall back.
Get that back. Okay. You want to play Vulture on left at this time.
All right.
That is the best thing he could have done for us. He doesn't know it yet, but that is the best thing he could have done for us. This is where our combinations start. God, I really want to do this differently than I'm about to do it. All right, we play Ghost Spider mid. We play Cloak on right. He is gonna Zola. He's gonna prepare a Zola run. Basically, is how I see this happening. If that's Wong, then
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Wong. No, Mr. Negative.
Oh, yeah, we could justifiably snap here. I would actually snap here.
All right.
We play.
Oh wow.
That's fine.
Okay.
We know what he's about to do. Because it's still a Zola deck, but now it's negative Zola. We play Hercules on right. No question. We play Vulture, and Vulture's the only card we're moving this turn.
All right. Then...
That is our turn. Because we're still going to have Prio after this, if everything goes the way I think it's about to go. Look at that. Look at that beautiful Vulture getting even more powerful.
Wakanda forever.
Okay. Next.
Ooh, and we have 2099.
We do have 2099. So it's a question of whether or not he's about to play Wong or if he's outright going to Zola now. If he Zolas now like I think he's going to, we actually want Negasonic down on mid.
All right.
And we throw Vulture right because honestly, we can move it in a minute anyway.
Okay.
I'm expecting a Zola mid, and he's then going to play what's his name, Odin afterwards.
Or he could play, since it's negative, he could possibly play Null.
That's true. There could be no there. There's the Wong. There's the Wong. That's why there's the Wong. That's fine for us, believe it or not. Okay, so we have 7 power here. This is where things get more interesting. All right, looking at this hand and the way it's played out, he's planning to Odin. It's hard to say if he's going to play it mid or right. I'm actually expecting him to play Odin on right, believe it or not. Since we can't do a Spider-Man Destroy right now, we quite literally want to play Heimdall on right because... Wait, hold on. Before we don't hit go yet on that one. No, sorry, my mistake. We want to play Heimdall on left.
All right.
Because it ends up being a bit more powerful as a result since the Negasonic is still there in case he tries to buff something out. Play an additional card on mid.
Gotcha. And maybe he avoids the mid?
He might. We'll see what happens. Nope, he played it.
He played Zola.
There's the Zola. Which is good because now the Zola's destroyed. Right
He might have a Null.
He might.
No, Iron Man.
Iron Man.
This is going to be tight, but I think we actually still cover. Because that Vulture, which we've beefed up a lot along the way. Go, baby, go, baby, go. Yes! Give him the fist bump, because that was beautifully played.
Oh, my goodness.
I did call that Vulture. I did call that Zola right. Not the
Oh,
order I
my
expected it in.
goodness. Oh, he still took 8. That's crazy.
But look at the power the movement gave you on left. That Vulture is 27 power.
And that hung with the Black Panther that got boosted twice with the
through.
Iron Man.
And because Vulture got 2 cards moved over, 2 more cards moved over with it, that is now a 10 power Kraven that just added into that so much.
That was crazy. That was awesome.
People would have expected the Heimdall on the right. They would have thought, okay, the Heimdall on right, expecting something a little bit different. No, that is how it played out. Because if it would have been without if it was the Odin, not the Zola on, it was the Odin on right, it would have been close, depending on which card bounced back with the Heimdall on right.
Timmy, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for this world-class masterclass move. Where can everyone find you or reach out to you or see you?
My Timmy Trogdor is my name in most places. I do stream on Twitch a couple of days a week, every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at the moment, and I pick up an extra day here or there as twitch.tv/Timmy Trogdor. That is the name you'll find me in most places. I am Timmy Trogdor.
Nice. And then I'll have your info down in the description. That way they
Absolutely.
can hit the link and follow you for more masterclass move. Till next time, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Be safe. Keep on snapping. And peace.
Peace out.